You're watching Talkin' Ducks, built by Parr Lumber. Talkin' Ducks is presented by Pacific Clear Vision Institute and Les Schwab Tire Centers. Good evening and welcome into another edition of Talkin' Ducks. Oregon with the big-time victory over Oregon State. We'll recap the win for the Ducks in the rivalry game. Also, that sets up a matchup against Utah in the Pac-12 title game. Can Oregon bounce back after that embarrassing loss in Salt Lake City and put forth a much better effort? And then a huge move in the world of college football that might shift the power in the Pac-12. Lincoln Riley, the head coach at Oklahoma, now headed to USC to lead the Trojans. We'll discuss what that means for Oregon moving forward. But let's go ahead and get to our opening drive, brought to you by Les Schwab Tire Centers. Les Schwab doing the right thing since 1952. And let's welcome in the gang, Joey Harrington, Anthony Newman, and from the Oregonian, Aaron Fentress. And Joey, let's get started with you. Quite the impressive win for Oregon. Clearly looked like the Ducks had zero type of hangover after the embarrassing loss to Utah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I think we were all looking for, is to see how they responded, right? Because the question was this a good football team that simply got punched in the mouth? Or was this a team that got exposed for being, I won't call them a fraud, but for being a team that was highly overrated and just kind of survived on, a little bit of luck through the year? And I think what the game showed us was that this is a good football team. This isn't a perfect football team. This isn't the best football team in the country, but this is a really good football team that deserved to be in the discussion. They earned it. I think had they come out and laid an egg this week, I think we would have seen or heard a little bit of a different story. But this was a dominant performance from the very start. Yeah, they let things slide back in the second half and the end of the fourth quarter, and I think that that needs to be addressed if you're going to continue to get better, and especially going into this game against Utah. But this was a team that came out and had a point to prove. And I think if you're an Oregon fan, that's exactly what you wanted to see. You wanted to see them show up. You wanted to see them play like they still had something to play for.
I agree with Joey 100%. And what I wanted to see was exactly what Joey talked about. Were they not going to allow the loss at Utah, to basically shape their season? I've been warning all season that this team was kind of ripe for something like this, and it happened. But what you want to see is, can they move past it and overcome it? Because had they lost to Oregon State and allowed Washington State to win the North and go to the Pac-12 title game, now it's just a disaster. It's just, you just ended the season on a disastrous note. You're going to maybe the Vegas Bowl, which I would love to cover because I love Vegas, but instead you come out and you completely flush that debacle in Utah and take down Oregon State from the opening quarter, just demolished them, shut down their run game. And so now you recalibrate what everyone should be thinking about the Pac-12 title game, because now this looks like the Oregon team that should be able to beat Utah next week and go to the Rose Bowl, which would make this a wildly successful season. So I was very impressed with their resolve.
I'll keep it short. One word: redemption. From last week against Utah and from last year against OSU. I mean, Oregon, you said it, Aaron, they made a statement from the start and to the finish. At the finish, they kind of messed up a little bit, but they started well. That first running play was like 8 yards. And you knew right there that Oregon came to be physical. They wanted to be physical. And that's how they played the whole game. So it was an offense, defense, and special teams win.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get to our Parr Lumber post-game cuts, brought to you by Parr Lumber. Go where the builders go. Here's Coach Cristobal on the win and the rivalry afterwards.
Well, it was a rough plane ride back last week. And, we talked about it early in the week, when something like that, when you go through something like that, you have to look in the mirror and you have to dig deep and regroup quickly. Our team leadership did a good job with that. I thought the coaching staff did a great job with that as well. Scheme was good. The adjustments were good. Guys played at a high level. I think they made the decision to have 11 guys play as one, play with great effort, execute at a high level, and finish, knowing that you're going to have to earn it, man. In these rivalry games, you're never out of it. Whether you're ahead or whether you're behind, you're never out of it. And you see it all over the country. You saw it on our field today. So really good job by the football team, and a lot to build off of, some momentum to build off of that. We have a couple injuries. I don't think there's anything too bad, nothing too serious. I think all the guys checked out fairly well in the initial check that I did. things got a little bit heated there at the end. You wish it doesn't, because that's not part of the game, man. It's just frustrations leaking out, and we're all responsible, both sides. We can't let that stuff happen. But it's this game is really important, and we, you saw a lot of talk today and throughout the week on rivalry week, and how teams, when they play in rivalry week, they carry the support of all those that wore the O or whatever respective logo they play for. They carry that with them, and when you do, you're playing for a lot more than just the guy's locker room, and I think the ones that understand that and the importance of rivalries, well, I think that's why it carries that extra energy, and you could focus on getting your guys ready for the game by executing and digging deep in a game plan and fundamentals and technique. But the other stuff carries you over and pushes you over the top. And I think we felt that today. We want to make our guys proud.
Now, Anthony, you were at the game cheering on your daughter's boyfriend's team. Well, supporting them. We know that you're cheering on the Ducks here. But at the end of this game, there was a lot going on for a minute left in a 3-possession game. It seemed like the chippiness that used to be there in the Oregon State rivalry emerged once again towards the end of this game.
Well, it's a rival game, and that thing is going to happen. It's really going to happen in any rival game. When a team's losing, you're just mad. Now, these players need to understand this is not the UFC. This is not WWF. If it was the UFC, they would all get whooped on. So they're playing football. I did get a little nervous, Jordan, when I saw the Oregon State player had his helmet off, and he had long hair. It looks like Jaden's hair. I was like, uh-oh, Jaden's in the mix. But it's going to happen. They got to keep their composure and just play football.
Jaden being your daughter's boyfriend who plays for the Beavers.
Yes.
Would you have smacked him upside the head after the game if he was in there fighting, Anthony?
Yeah, hey, you're going to get hurt in there with no helmet? Go back and put your helmet on.
I know,
go back
never
in there.
fight without a helmet. Like when I fight you, Newman, someday, I'm going to wear a helmet.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll break down Anthony Brown's Autzen Stadium finale and quite the bounce back for him. Also, the Oregon receiver showing up in the win against Oregon State. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Talkin' Ducks.
With 9 locations in the Pacific Northwest, Parr's Cabinet Design Center features everything from outdoor cabinets and countertops to sinks and hardware. Thousands of door styles and colors available to order, as well as kitchen and bath cabinets in stock. All available at the Parr Cabinet Design Center.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quad-Track tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Being able to get LASIK gave me the opportunity to not worry about putting contacts in every day, and just kind of made my life a little easier. Pacific Clear Vision Institute was just incredible through my entire experience. The staff was very welcoming. Dr. Embody, he really just kind of laid it out and made me feel comfortable and gave me confidence to know that I was in good hands. I would definitely recommend Pacific Clear Vision Institute for any sort of laser eye surgery.
Welcome to your Capital Toyota.
From the moment you walk through the doors, we're here for you.
Buy, sell, trade.
We got you covered.
It's everything you need in one place.
Great service? Check.
Easy to work with?
Check.
We want you to be happy, and it shows in everything we do.
Because we respect your time.
It's all the quality and convenience in one package.
New or Toyota certified pre-owned.
Our people are your people.
Capital Toyota. It's your way on the Parkway.
Since 1961, Comfort Flow Heating has provided service to more than 50,000 homes and businesses in the Willamette Valley. While the technology and techniques in our industry have changed, our founding principles have remained the same: to provide exceptional service in all areas of our business and for our customers to enjoy their products from us and be comfortable for years to come.
From all of us at Comfort Flow, thank you for choosing us.
Go Ducks!
Eugene Airport is a proud part of what makes Western Oregon such a unique place to be. With nonstop routes that connect to hundreds of destinations, fly local, fly EUG.
Stories tell us that great leaders are anointed at birth, chosen by the hand of fate. But those are just stories.
You're watching Talkin' Ducks, built by Parr Lumber. Welcome back. It's time now for our Thing of Beauty, presented by Dr. Lee B. Daniel and Aesthetic Plastic Surgery. Live beautiful. How about this Anthony Brown bomb to Devin Williams?
Third down and 3 for the Ducks. Oregon State needs a stop. Brown flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to throw it deep, unloading inside the 10. It's caught for a touchdown by Devin Williams, and what a throw by Anthony Brown.
So Aaron, what do you make about these Oregon receivers? A huge day for Williams, and then you have Chris Hudson coming up big. It seems like this is what we were looking for as far as the big play-making ability from the Oregon receivers for the majority of the season.
You know, Devin Williams has been money for a while now, so not surprised at all by what he did. But with Johnny Johnson going out for the season and Jalen Redd going out for the season and Micah Pittman transferring, you needed someone else to step up and be reliable, and Hudson did that. Got his first touchdown this season. What do you have, 7 catches for 82 yards? Those two are looking like a dynamic duo. Devin Williams might turn pro, who knows, or he could come back next year. But if he does, him, Hudson, and Ferguson will be a pretty darn good starting trio next season. But I liked what they did in this game for sure. And it bodes well for next week because we know Utah's going to be stout against the run. And we know that in order to win that game, they're going to have to make plays in the passing game, which means Hudson and Williams are going to have to produce.
Yeah, Aaron, this is one of the first weeks when Oregon, I don't want to say gave the receivers an opportunity to make these plays, right? I mean, that was from the first quarter. I mean, we saw him pushing the ball down the field, making plays in the passing game, which is something that we haven't seen in a while. I think the talent has always been there. It's just been a matter of giving him the opportunity, right? I mean, this was a chance where they fed him some balls and they gave those freshmen a chance to show what they could do. And I think everybody's always known that this receiving core is extremely talented. It's just been giving them the chance to show that on a Saturday.
All right, time now to put things into focus. Brought to you by Pacific Clear Vision Institute, the official eye doctors and eye surgeons of the Oregon Ducks. And Joey, Anthony Brown, it was one of his worst outings of the season against Utah, but he bounces back with arguably one of his best performances in his Autzen Stadium finale. What did you make about his resolve to lead the Ducks and the quality of his play in the regular season finale?
Well, I don't think we need to say it was one of his worst. It was truly his worst last week, and then it was truly his best this week. I mean, the polar opposites. And I think that says so much about Anthony Brown, not just as a player, but as a person, and is why not just the coaching staff, but the players, all of us who've talked about it week to week, the media, the analysts have said that he's the right guy for this team to win games right now, because he didn't roll over. He didn't just say, you know what, I guess I'm beat. I guess I'm not as good as I thought I was, and maybe I should listen to everybody. Instead, he came out and he absolutely dominated that football game. I mean, that was a fantastic, that was the best game I saw him play as a Duck. And the way he was throwing that ball to Devin Williams right at the start of the game, I mean, that was as perfectly thrown on the run as you could possibly do. And so not only did that bring up his confidence, but like we just talked about, it brought up the confidence of all the wide receivers around him. It gave him the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to get a ball this game, so I better be ready. As opposed to, we're going to run it. Oh, God, I guess I got ball coming at me now. This was a true collective effort by everybody, and I think it was led by I don't call it resurgence, but call it the bounce back game by Anthony Brown, because he was the leader of all of it.
Well, you know, I'm very proud of this young man. He's gone through a lot. I mean, he's dealt with adversity, you know, playing bad games and then come back and play a good game. Play a bad quarter, come back and play the next quarter a whole lot better. Dealing with the noise outside of his Duck family, hearing all the fans and the media people talking about he's not the guy, who's the next guy, being booed at one point in his home stadium. That's deep. okay? And if you just keep trying to battle back, that tells you a lot about this young man. I mean, you transferred from Boston College. He had an injury back there, came out here on the West Coast, a long ways from home, by himself. I mean, you have to be proud of this young man. And the players, they know about him. That's why they trust him. That's why they believe in him. That's why they will follow him to the end. And so he did a great job.
First thing I need to ask is, Anthony, when Brown rolled out and threw that pass to Devin Williams, did you have flashbacks to Joe Montana, to Jerry Rice? Because that's what it looked like. Like when you were in the stands going, oh my God, flashback. Because it was beautiful. Like that was easily his best play of the season, I thought.
Wait, why does it have to be a flashback of me getting beat?
You never got beat by Rice, ever?
No.
I know you were great, but Rice had to have got you once or twice, no? Okay, anyway. No, Brown was great, but what these two games showed us, what we already knew pretty much, was that Brown is not going to carry you to a victory when everything else is going bad. If the defense isn't there and the run game isn't there, he's not going to go Mariota and carry you. He's not that type of quarterback. Against Utah, for example, they rushed the ball like 6 times for 25 yards on the first down. In this game against Oregon State, they ran the ball 24 times on first down for 118 yards. They had 75 yards on first down in the first half alone with carries of 13, 12, 10, 9. So the point, and some of those were Brown. The point is when the running game's rolling and he can join in on that and play action off of that and get in 3rd and shorts, 2nd and shorts, that opens things up for him and makes him a much better quarterback, and that's what we saw at Oregon State. You got to be able to run the ball for him. Otherwise, he's not going to carry you, and they showed that again on Saturday.
When we come back, we'll give some love to the defense. Certainly showed out on a couple of failed 2-point conversions for Oregon State. Plus, we show some love to some seniors, and Ducks won't be with us next year because they will be moving on from the pond as we continue along on Talkin' Ducks.
Do you have a stay-at-home project? We can help. Contact Parr from the comfort of your home. Get a free quote online or call a pro to order your materials. And the best part? We deliver. Call us or visit Parr.com for details. Parr, your project experts for 90 years.
Since 1961, Comfort Flow Heating has provided service to more than 50,000 homes and businesses in the Willamette Valley. While the technology and techniques in our industry have changed, our founding principles have remained the same: to provide exceptional service in all areas of our business and for our customers to enjoy their products from us and be comfortable for years to come.
From all of us at Comfort Flow, thank you for choosing us.
Go Ducks!
Eugene Airport is a proud part of what makes Western Oregon such a unique place to be. With nonstop routes that connect to hundreds of destinations, fly local, fly EUG.
In the heart of the South Willamette Valley, just 12 miles southwest of Eugene, distinctive handcrafted wines are waiting for you at Sylvan Ridge Winery. Sylvan Ridge Wines bring unassuming, casual elegance to your homes, tables, and celebrations, and are best paired with the mainstays of a social gathering: good food, fond friends, and lively conversation. Discover our wines by visiting our tasting room. For a list of events or to plan your visit, go to sylvanridge.com. Proud partners of the Oregon Ducks.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quadtrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Being able to get LASIK gave me the opportunity to not worry about putting contacts in every day, and just kind of made my life a little easier. Pacific Clear Vision Institute was just incredible through my entire experience. The staff was very welcoming. Dr. Embody, he really just kind of laid it out and made me feel comfortable and gave me confidence to know that I was in good hands. I would definitely recommend Pacific Clear Vision Institute for any sort of laser eye surgery.
Sometimes leadership is scary, but so is regret.
You're watching Talkin' Ducks, built by Parr Lumber. Welcome back. Let's check out our solid stop, brought to you by Milan Stoneworks, bringing you the finest stoneworks in the Northwest. And Anthony, you look at this Oregon defense, they were terrific on those two-point conversions for Oregon State, but then also they had to deal with the Pac-12's best rushing offense after struggling against Utah last week and stopping the run. Really seems like they figured something out this past week.
Well, the defense came to play. And they came to stop the running game of OSU. Oregon State can run the football, and B.J. Baylor is a guy who can carry the load. But they held him down. I think he only had 59 yards rushing. In total, OSU only had 85 yards rushing. So they did a great job of stopping the run. There was no yards after contact also with the receivers' explosion plays. I think the longest pass was 35 yards, and that was to Luke Musgrave, the tight end. But I just loved how physical the defense was. And it brought me a flashback of me hitting receivers like Aaron, just coming up there and taking his helmet off. Aaron, did you get that flashback, how the defense was flying around, just getting hit? Did that happen to you sometimes? You just get your helmet knocked off? Because I felt it. That's what I thought was happening. It was a great dream that I had. Watching Oregon do that, it was just a blast.
I adjusted a lot of routes to sideline routes so I could get out of bounds. So no. That said, I do want to add to this though. Look, this game showed how teams can evolve and change. My man James Crepia, who I work with at the Oregonian, had been asking Mario all season and writing all season about how the Ducks defense struggles against teams that use multiple tight ends, 2 or 3 tight ends, and they're just gashing the Ducks. And he was right. Most of the season, that was happening. And then you come up against the ultimate rushing team in this conference right now who uses tight ends a lot, and the Ducks just stuffed it, shut it down. And this is coming off a week when another team that likes to use the tight end just ran right through them. So we saw the evolution of the defense from week, not just from week to week, but from the whole season to this big game where they figured it out and shut down a team that uses the tight ends in the running game. Did a marvelous job, Oregon did in this game.
All right, guys, let's have a toast brought to you by Sylvan Ridge Winery, proud partners of the Oregon Ducks. Here's Anthony Brown, his post-game sound, the senior, with a few words after this game.
The road that I had here in Oregon wasn't the smoothest path, which is fine. But like I also said, I wouldn't change it because it also led me to this point. It made me a better person. It made me a better man. It made me a better friend to others. And just like today with senior day and all, it was special going out the way I did. And especially the way we went out against Oregon State at home. And it was just a great experience.
So Joey, Anthony Brown, one of 15 seniors that played their final game at Autzen Stadium, and this was a year with sky-high expectations and a tremendous amount of injuries and adversity. How do you think they handled and led this team this year when you look at everything that was on the table for this Oregon Ducks team?
Well, I mean, let's start with your first point, which was the expectations. I somewhat fall in line with what Aaron has said all year, which is I didn't have playoff or bust expectations for this team. You know, this was a team that was 4-3 last year in a season that was, I didn't even count it. I mean, I didn't even know they played last year. But that being said, it was so up and down, even while consistently winning, that I think that Anthony Brown really just kind of epitomizes everything about this team, about the resolve, the fight, he said, I really liked what he said, which was, I wouldn't trade any of this because I love where I'm at right now, right? And that's such an incredible perspective for a young man to have, which was, there were a lot of bumps. And there were some times when I took my lumps, and there were some times when I played really poorly, but I came back and I responded. And now we're sitting in this spot where we're one game away from going to a Rose Bowl. And that's something that's pretty special. So, hey, you got to give it to Anthony Brown in the way that he fought through things and really the perspective he's taken all year in dealing with it.
He's definitely overcome a lot this season. And I want to point out something. The Ducks lost 2 games this season. You can't blame Brown for those 2 games. I mean, granted, he didn't elevate the team like a superstar like a Joey Harrington used to do all the time, but he also didn't kill you. Like, they're not going to win 10 games without him. They start Ty Thompson, they don't win 10 games this year. They won 10 games because they had a veteran, grown-ass man back there who figured it out and helped this team get to where it's in a position to go to the Rose Bowl. So props to him for overcoming adversity and developing during the season.
Apparently you don't quite remember everything so smoothly, Aaron, because there are a lot of games where I played like,
like doo-doo?
Like when Coach Bellotti walked up the tunnel and said, you don't have to wait until the second half to start playing good football. So, but carry on.
You thought every game was a movie. You wanted to be the hero, so you got to,
It was all about the drama. All about the drama.
Exactly.
Stick around, because when we come back, we'll talk about Oregon and whether or not they can avenge their loss to Utah that knocked them out of the college football playoff. It's the Pac-12 title game preview when we come back.
Parr Lumber is committed to providing the best customer service. We provide personal service. We're problem solvers. We're positive and courteous. We're competent and professional. We are committed to delivering exceptional service every time. We're appreciative and we care. We are Parr Lumber.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quad-Track tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Welcome to your Capital Toyota.
From the moment you walk through the doors, we're here for you.
Buy, sell, trade.
We got you covered.
It's everything you need in one place.
Great service.
Check.
Easy to work with.
Check.
We want you to be happy, and it shows in everything we do.
Because we respect your time.
It's all the quality and convenience in one package.
New or Toyota certified pre-owned.
Our people are your people.
Capital Toyota. It's your way on the Parkway.
In the heart of the South Willamette Valley, just 12 miles southwest of Eugene, distinctive handcrafted wines are waiting for you at Sylvan Ridge Winery. Sylvan Ridge Wines bring unassuming, casual elegance to your homes, tables, and celebrations, and are best paired with the mainstays of a social gathering: good food, fond friends, and lively conversation. Discover our wines by visiting our tasting room. For a list of events or to plan your visit, go to sylvanridge.com. Proud partners of the Oregon Ducks.
You're watching Talkin Ducks, built by Parr Lumber. Talkin Ducks is presented by Pacific Clear Vision Institute and Les Schwab Tire Centers.
I was just like, for one, I didn't even try to hit him in his head, whatever it is. But the thing is, I've always talked about it. There's such thing as offensive targeting, people ducking their head, bang, bang plays. So for me, it was, I'm just passionate. And throughout this game, it was just high stakes, a lot of emotion involved. And I was just heated because I was like, this isn't the first time, of course, I've been reviewed for targeting. And I was just like, every time it's always something. But, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Like I said, you saw my tweet. See y'all Friday. We know what we want to do. We know what the task is. We know what's at stake. And we're ready to go. We didn't like how the outcome was last time. So we're here again, part 2.
That leads us to our Comfort Flow hot topic, brought to you by Comfort Flow Heating, the HVAC industry leader in Western Oregon since 1961. And Guys, that's the big question. Can Oregon avenge their loss to Utah, and what adjustments need to be made by Oregon if they want to get this Pac-12 championship and most likely punch their ticket to the Rose Bowl?
First things first, it's in Vegas. It's not Rice-Eccles. Rice-Eccles is a horrible place to play for any team because that Utah team comes to life there, especially at night. So you're not there. You're in Las Vegas. That's one. Two, you show that loss didn't impact you, didn't ruin your season, didn't mess up your psyche. So you're going to come into this game pretty confident that you are the better team because you know what? You are the better team. You just had a bad night. It's at a neutral site. You recalibrated yourself against the Beavers, but it all starts with the rushing attack. You have to be able to run the football. You can't go out there and only get, 60 yards I think they had at Utah in the loss. You have to dominate in the run game, which you're capable of doing because that sets up Brown, keeps your defense off the field, keeps their offense from grinding your defense into the ground. If you run the ball well, you're going to win. I do believe Oregon is flat out the better team. They had a bad night. I think they win this game.
Yeah, I agree with you, Aaron. I think you hit the point with the rushing offense, but I think what Utah was able to do to them on the ground the last time they played is absolutely has to change as well. And it's funny, watching that clip of Verone, was I the only one who thought of Bart Scott? Like when who is he being interviewed at the end? He's like, can't wait. Yeah, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to see you. Like I just got the feeling from watching that clip that this Oregon defense is going to be ready, is going to play better than they did at Rice-Eccles. Like you said, Aaron, on a neutral field after a week where they dominated the best rushing attack in the Pac-12. I'm waiting to see this defense and see how they bounce back.
And for Utah, it's always hard to beat a team twice, and a team that I think that's equal. So this is going to be a great matchup, and I think Oregon understands the importance of this game, not just to win the Pac-12 championship, but to get some redemption from that team that they played so poorly against the last time. It just wasn't a contest, and I think Oregon understands that when you got these new receivers, that was their first game kind of playing together as a group. These young freshmen, all freshman receivers, and now this is going to be their second game or third game playing in this Pac-12 championship. They'll feel more comfortable. Anthony Brown, he's looking for redemption, and I think the defense that's the key. The defense for Oregon, they're looking at this game like, hey, we need to go out there and show the team that we can play. We need to show up, be stout, get some turnovers for our offense, and not give up the big explosion plays and stop the running game. And I believe that's going to happen in this game.
The last time Oregon played a revenge game in the championship game was the 2014 season. They lost to Arizona at home and then just destroyed Arizona in the Pac-12 title game.
Yep.
They had a guy named Marcus that game, didn't they?
That's true.
Yes.
Just saying.
All right, do not go anywhere. When we come back, huge news, shockwaves through the Pac-12. Washington State hires Jake Dickert. No, we're kidding. Listen, that's good, but it's Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma to USC. We'll talk about what that means for Oregon moving forward when we come back on Talkin' Ducks.
Since 1961, Comfort Flow Heating has provided service to more than 50,000 homes and businesses in the Willamette Valley. While the technology and techniques in our industry have changed, our founding principles have remained the same: to provide exceptional service in all areas of our business and for our customers to enjoy their products from us and be comfortable for years to come.
From all of us at Comfort Flow, thank you for choosing us.
Go Ducks!
Eugene Airport is a proud part of what makes Western Oregon such a unique place to be. With nonstop routes that connect to hundreds of destinations, fly local, fly EUG.
In the heart of the South Willamette Valley, just 12 miles southwest of Eugene, distinctive handcrafted wines are waiting for you at Sylvan Ridge Winery. Sylvan Ridge Wines bring unassuming, casual elegance to your homes, tables, and celebrations, and are best paired with the mainstays of a social gathering: good food, fond friends, and lively conversation. Discover our wines by visiting our tasting room. For a list of events or to plan your visit, go to sylvanridge.com. Proud partners of the Oregon Ducks.
You're watching Talkin' Ducks, built by Parr Lumber.
I think it would not be fitting for me to recognize the University of Oklahoma, the impact that it had on me, the people there. This was obviously, I told the team earlier, toughest decision of my life to come here. And it's those people there were tremendous to me. And this is going to be the mecca of college football. And I'm not big on false promises, hollow promises. I'm not going to stand up here and talk about all the different things that I think we can do. We see the potential there. We know we've got to go to work, and it's going to take every single one of us. But if we all do what we can you imagine the scene down here? Some of you guys have seen it. Some of you guys have experienced it. I'm ready to experience it, and I'm ready for our current players and our future players to experience that as well.
All right, let's go ahead and buckle up and fly around the Pac-12, brought to you by Eugene Airport. Fly easy, fly EUG. And there you have it, Lincoln Riley leaving Oklahoma, where he led the Sooners to 3 college football playoff appearances, now taking over the head coaching position at USC. It was the news of the weekend. And guys, what does this mean for the conference? What does this mean for Oregon and its recruiting? And what does this mean for the challenges for the Ducks moving forward when you look at a hire of this caliber at this USC school?
Hey, I don't know what it means. I just think it's crazy. I mean, I don't understand. Well, I do understand. Maybe it's all about money. Lincoln Riley's at Oklahoma. He has a great program, great recruiting, and then you go to USC, and I know they have the potential of having great athletes go there and all this stuff. But Aaron, help me with this. I don't understand. I mean, why are these coaches doing this?
There's many layers to this. First of all, isn't Oklahoma going to the SEC?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, do I want to be in the SEC? Texas is going as well when you already have a stacked conference that added Texas A&M a couple years ago as well. When I can go to the Pac-12 into the premier program in the Pac-12 when they have the coach right. Just because they've gotten the coach wrong and haven't lived up to expectations doesn't mean it's still not a monster. It's a monster, and they just made arguably, not even arguably, this is the biggest, most impactful, ready-made, proven coach USC has hired since they rehired John Robinson after he left, went to the NFL, and they came back to USC. Pete Carroll was not a marquee hire. Pete Carroll, a lot of people were like, Pete Carroll, why you hired Pete Carroll? He's struggled in the NFL. That turned out well, but this is a proven guy who's averaging 11 wins at a blue blood marquee program. He's won many big games already, and you're stealing him for USC? He's going to recruit well. You're in one of the top 3 hotbeds of recruiting. He is going to change that program and make them a power again. I have no doubt about it. That's huge, and it's huge for the conference. It elevates the entire conference if USC is in the mix every season.
Well, that's the point. That's, Anthony, what you said. What does it mean? It means that it's going to benefit Oregon. It's going to benefit everybody within the conference, because all of a sudden, when eyeballs come back to USC around the country, the value of the Pac-12 raises, right? All the discussion this year has been, well, Oregon doesn't play anybody. Well, Oregon doesn't play anybody. The Pac-12 has fallen off the cliff. And so if there was so little margin for error for Oregon, when the value of the conference is raised around in the eyeballs of the country, then it benefits everyone. This is simply going to draw eyeballs back to the conference. Look, remember the days when Oregon and USC were playing in those massive games? I mean, that's what you want to have if you're a player. It's going to increase. It's going to keep local talent. It's going to keep all those guys from the West Coast. And they're not going to take those trips, back to Texas, back to Oklahoma, back to LSU anymore. They're going to stay here in the West because they know that those marquee games are going to be played here close to home. This benefits everybody.
When we return, women's volleyball off to the NCAA tournament. We'll talk about their hopes and chances as they head to Omaha, Nebraska for the first round. And then Matt Preem from 24/7 Sports will tell us more about the impact of Lincoln Riley to USC. What does it mean for Oregon and their top-rated recruiting classes when we come back on Talkin' Ducks. You're watching Talkin' Ducks, built by Parr Lumber. It's time for some excellence off the field, presented by Ferguson Wellman. Ferguson Wellman taking a disciplined approach to investing in the Oregon women's volleyball team. An exciting year. They've made it to the NCAA tournament for the 18th time in school history, the 4th time underneath head coach Matt Ulmer. They're headed to Omaha, Nebraska for their first round of action. The Ducks will travel to Nebraska to face Kansas in the first round on Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Now, Oregon is 5-3 in the NCAA tournament under Ulmer, including an Elite 8 appearance in 2018, along with last year's trip to the Sweet 16. All right, time now for a recruiting update brought to you by 24/7 Sports. Here's Matt Preem of Duck Territory. All right, Matt, let's start with this here. What happened this weekend for the Ducks in recruiting? Seems like they were hosting some folks. They're obviously very interested in some names still late in this regular season.
Yeah, Jordan, it was a big week for Oregon football on the recruiting front for multiple reasons. First and foremost, they had a large group of its officially committed guys on campus here in Eugene. 6 or 7 that we were able to spot guys committed to the 2022 class. And that's important because signing day is just a couple of weeks away. And you want to get these guys on campus. You want to kind of smooth over any kind of concerns that they may have had, make sure everything's ready to go for when they sign here in a couple of weeks. And then secondly, some of their top rated guys that left on their board were in town for that game against Oregon State. Josh Connerly, a 5-star offensive tackle. He's a top 10 player in the country. He was here for a visit with his parents. You also had Cyrus Moss, a guy that's flirted with becoming a 5-star, a 4-star edge player out of Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas. He was here for like his 4th visit in the last 5 or 6 months. Very important to get him on campus. He's recently kind of looked at Alabama, ASU, and Oregon being his primary schools. He was at Alabama recently, was at ASU. So you needed to get him back to Eugene if you could before he makes a final decision sometime here in December. And then another guy that was here was Darius Clemens, a 4-star receiver out of Portland. He was on campus as well. Oregon is trending in that right direction. Things are going where he probably will sign with Oregon here in the next couple of weeks. And then on top of that, they had some high 4-star guys in the 2023 recruiting class that are juniors getting an early look at the Oregon football program.
Now here's the big one, Matt. Obviously, Lincoln Riley leaving Oklahoma, going to USC. This has got to have a huge impact on Oregon's future recruiting and creates a very big roadblock to that Southern California pipeline.
Well, it's actually good for the conference because when USC is humming, the league is viewed in a different manner. And USC has not been what we have all grown up to know USC football as the last couple of seasons. So I think it brings some stability. It brings some credibility to the conference, knowing that USC just went in and swiped probably a top 5, top 10 coach in the country away from another perennial power in Oklahoma. I mean, the Sooners haven't had a coaching change where the coach openly left since 1948. That is a big coup for USC to be able to get that. Now, how does it impact Oregon? I don't think it's really going to impact much this season. I'm sure Lincoln Riley will call a couple of Oregon's commits, McMillan, the receiver, the Jalil Tucker, Jalil Florence at Lincoln High School in San Diego, maybe a Grayson Halton, who's also from San Diego. But I don't think there's going to be a lot of movement from USC poaching any of Oregon's commits in the 2022 class. Now, it's going to make life difficult for Oregon moving forward, especially for the skill guys. Lincoln Riley's offense is explosive. Lincoln Riley's offense has had success recruiting Southern California the last couple of seasons. They've had multiple 4- and 5-star commits in the 2022 and 2023 recruiting classes from SoCal to Oklahoma. Those guys have all actually decommitted from Oklahoma. It wouldn't be a surprise if any of them land with USC here in the next year or two. So there's going to be another big dog in the conference, and Oregon fans should have expected this. It wasn't going to ride forever where USC was down and wouldn't recruit at a high level. But nonetheless, I think this is a positive for the conference because the league is at its best when USC is at its best.
Thanks again, Matt. Don't forget, you can join Duck Territory at 24/7 Sports and stay on top of all things Oregon Ducks, including all of the latest recruiting news. All right, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll give you our predictions and thoughts. Oregon versus Utah in the Pac-12 title game. What needs to happen if the Ducks want to get a win? We'll let you know when we come back on Talkin' Ducks.
Hi there, it's Les Schwab Tires, reminding you that changing seasons can mean changing road conditions. Introducing the brand new Backcountry AT2 for a quieter ride with improved performance in wet conditions. Because when it comes to keeping your family safe, the right tires help you feel prepared for anything. Seriously, anything. Now save up to $130 when you buy Quadtrac tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Being able to get LASIK gave me the opportunity to not worry about putting contacts in every day, and just kind of made my life a little easier. Pacific Clear Vision Institute was just incredible through my entire experience. The staff was very welcoming. Dr. Embody, he really just kind of laid it out and made me feel comfortable and gave me confidence to know that I was in good hands. I would definitely recommend Pacific Clear Vision Institute for any sort of laser eye surgery.
Welcome to your Capital Toyota.
From the moment you walk through the doors, we're here for you.
Buy, sell, trade.
We got you covered.
It's everything you need in one place.
Great service? Check.
Easy to work with.
Check.
We want you to be happy, and it shows in everything we do.
Because we respect your time.
It's all the quality and convenience in one package.
New or Toyota certified pre-owned.
Our people are your people.
Capital Toyota. It's your way on the Parkway.
Changing decision and punched on. Kayvon Thibodeau, the explosive pass rusher, taking a shot down the seam for the end zone. It's intercepted by Reeves. The junior safety is having a monster night so far. Lost the ball downfield. Johnny Johnson's wide open. And the Ducks are stretching the lead. Play by Dixon. And nothing is working. A huge hit there by Brady Reeves. Here's Burdell right up the middle. Breaks free. C.J. Burdell. And in for the end zone. Can they run him down? No! Touchdown Ducks. Only pressure. And Thibodeau's got him yet again. The freshman has been a star this season. Burdell breaks free. And another house call to punctuate a championship victory for Oregon.
Congratulations to the Oregon Ducks, the 2019 Pac-12 champions.
How about the Ducks?
All right, that was Oregon's 2019 Pac-12 title game victory over Utah. Oregon winning 37-15, and obviously Kayvon Thibodeau just a dominant monster in that game. For Oregon, though, it's going to be a much more difficult task to try and repeat that effort. And for that, it's time now to hit Victory Road, brought to you by Capital Toyota in Salem.
You know, we made a bunch of plays in that game against Oregon a couple weeks ago that don't mean squat right now. Nobody, you know, they don't care, and they're not going to have any impact on this game. So we got to go out and make plays, and that's what it always comes down to, is making plays. And not one play we made in the last 2 weeks will count in this game. So we got to go out and make some new ones.
I think there's always carryover. There's always retention, but it is a brand new game.
with coaches that are working on both sides because everybody wants it, right? Everybody wants it and wants it bad. So there's always going to be something extra, right? There's going to be a wrinkle. There's going to be an adjustment. It's going to be a different look. There's going to be a different play, a scheme, whatever it may be. So the preparation, yeah, there's some, but you have to prepare for what you see. You have to probably spend a lot of time self-scouting to see how people have attacked you throughout the entire season, because whatever has hurt you is bound to show up in a championship game.
Guys, what needs to happen for Oregon to make sure we don't have a repeat of what happened a couple of weeks ago in Salt Lake City? Are the issues and adjustments fixable for Oregon, or is Utah just that much better than the Ducks?
No, I think Aaron hit on it earlier with the Oregon running game. I mean, that is the linchpin for everything. However, I will say Utah did an amazing job of neutralizing Kayvon Thibodeau in the game 2 weeks ago, right? He was dominant in the championship game the last time they played, and he was, I won't say nowhere to be found, but he was not his disruptive self. I think if this defense is going to do the things they need to do to slow down this Utah running game, Kayvon Thibodeau is going to have to find a way, and the coaching staff is going to have to find a way to work him into the game plan to allow him to be that force again. Even if he's not making the plays during the season when he wasn't creating sacks or he wasn't, forcing fumbles for loss, he was drawing the attention to allow others to do that. And that's what they're going to have to find. They're going to have to find a way to do that again this week.
To piggyback off something you said earlier, Joey, about stopping the run, that forces a team to throw. And if a team has to throw a lot, that's where Kayvon starts licking his chops, right? He's like, yeah, you're third and long, fool. I'm coming. You can't do anything about it. If you can just run right at him all day, you can neutralize him. But to me, like you said earlier, shut down the run, force. Rising's a good quarterback. There's no doubt about that. But just like Brown, he's not a get on my back, I'm going to throw the ball 40 times and beat you quarterback. So if you can get them into third and longs, make him have to drop back, stay in that pocket, and let routes develop downfield. Now that pass rush can develop, and then Kayvon can take over. So for me, the key, like you said earlier, shut down the run, force them to throw the ball a lot.
Well, I can't wait to see the game plan that Utah's offense is going to have against Kayvon Thibodeau, because the last game plan, they ran away from him.
That's right.
And as well.
It was number five, check with me.
Okay, here we go.
Exactly.
There he is. We going right
way.
So then Oregon, how does Oregon fix that? And I know they can move him around, but every time they move him around, it's check at the line of scrimmage or check with me, like we're going to go the other way.
Put him in the middle.
What's that?
I said put him in the middle. He's playing middle linebacker this week.
True. Middle linebacker. He can play it all. Maybe free safety. But here's the thing. Here's what Oregon's defense needs to do. Other guys need to step up. Okay, so if they're running away from Kayvon Thibodeau, Brandon Dorlus has to come out and play. We got to get other linebackers besides Noah Sewell getting in the mix, and Verone McKinley in the back end. Make Utah throw the football, and Utah wants to play with those tight ends. They love the tight ends, and they want to throw it to those tight ends, and so you have to have some matchup issues going on if you have a smaller DB on some of those bigger tight ends. So maybe it's a package deal. When you see all these tight ends coming to the game for Utah's offense, you match that with some bigger safeties or maybe bigger linebackers to match up with those tight ends. So
jam those
I can't
fools
wait
up,
to see
right,
this
Newman?
matchup on Friday.
You got to jam them up.
Well, sometimes they're too big to jam, because if you jam them, you get knocked down.
Do you know about that, Anthony? Do you know about getting knocked down? Is that what you're saying? Is it personal experience?
Never.
That's duck on duck crime.
I learned it from watching you, Aaron. I learned it from watching you.
Aaron. 2:30 now.
All right, guys, thanks again. Well, a huge week for the Ducks. A chance to go to the Rose Bowl, yet again a matchup against Utah in the Pac-12 title game. We'll have all of that covered and where Oregon will end up in their bowl game next week on Talkin' Ducks. But thank you so much again for joining us. Thank you again to all of our sponsors. Enjoy the game this Friday, and we'll see you guys next week.